A set of headphones is like having a little stereo stuck to your ears. They work just like full-size speakers to convert electrical signals from recordings and other sources into sound waves you can hear. But how can these little ear-sized speakers turn electricity into sound? The conversion from electricity to sound starts with winding thin strands of copper wire into a little bundle called a voice coil. One of these bundles goes into each earpiece of the headphones. Their job is to carry electrical signals from recorded music to little diaphragms that vibrate to turn the signals into sound waves. Copper is used to make the coils because it's an excellent conductor of electricity, and so it's a good carrier for the signals. Also, it's ultra lightweight. The copper that goes into the coils is actually thinner than a strand of human hair. It takes a special winding machine to turn the thin wire into a coil. The machine pulls the copper wire off a spool and guides it through a loop and into the winder. Two rotating arms spin in opposite directions to wrap the wire around a circular post into a coil. Here's a look at the wrapping action in slow motion. Over 4 meters of copper or 120 wraps goes into each coil. So much is used because more wire means more vibrations inside the headphones, resulting in better sound. Fortunately, each coil weighs less than 5/1000th of a gram. When a coil is finished, steel clippers cut the wires on either end so the coil can drop out of the machine into a bin. The tiny diaphragms that the coils vibrate are stamped by a machine out of ultra-thin sheets of titanium-coated plastic film. This film is made out of the same kind of plastic that's used to make polyester, only it's 30 times thinner than a sheet of typing paper. The titanium coating is used to stiffen the film and doesn't add much extra weight. To make the diaphragms, a press uses a heated mold to stamp them out of the film, 4 at a time. The pattern stamped into the diaphragms helps stiffen them so they won't tear as they vibrate. Once they're molded, a hot nickel wire drops down to cut off each sheet of the diaphragms. An industrial-strength paper punch cuts each individual diaphragm from the sheet. 2 diaphragms are needed for each pair of headphones, 1 for each side. To prepare them to go into the headphones, a small turntable spins the diaphragms while a glue gun coats them with a bead of glue. Each diaphragm is then glued to a copper voice coil. Now all that's needed are the plastic headphones or cups that hold the sound-making parts against your ear. A tiny circuit board is glued into the back of each cup before the voice coil and diaphragm go into them. It's smaller than a coin, and it's the critical electrical connection between the voice coil and the cord of the headphones. After the circuit board is fixed, small demagnetized magnets are assembled inside little cases so they can be glued inside each cup. They're not magnetized now to prevent them from picking up small pieces of metal that could distort the sound. When they're magnetized later, they'll push and pull the voice coil and diaphragm to help make air currents inside the cups that turn into sound waves. Once the magnets are in the cups, a press bears down with a kilo of pressure to hold the magnets in place while the glue sets. Finally, a machine installs a voice coil and diaphragm inside each cup before it's closed up with a plastic cover that sits against your ear. The finished cups are dropped into a black box and zapped with a charge of electricity. This jolt magnetizes the little magnets inside the cups. Each cup is then tested to ensure it's working. A metal probe sends electricity through the circuit board and into the voice coil to simulate the electrical signals that make sound. A scope measures the amount of electricity running from the circuit board through the coils. If the green line moves between the white lines, it's within range for these headphones. The probe also makes sure there's both positive and negative current running through the wires. The alternating currents push and pull the diaphragm through the magnetic field created by the magnet to make the sound waves. If the headphones are good, wires from the headphone cord are then soldered to the circuit board. This cord carries the electrical signals from your stereo or MP3 player into the headphones. Once wired, the cups are mounted to the headphone frame that fits around your head. Finally, an ear cushion is added to each cup, and now these headphones are ready for rock. Country, blues, jazz, funk, soul.